Today we're going to be talking about how to empower the emotional expression in the classroom with our little kids. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I always like to start with a quote. And today I chose for this webinar this one that I love. Education is an art built upon the social relationship between teachers and students. And so this is the most important thing that we have to do with our students' teachers. Before we start teaching them, we need to first build bonds with our students, okay? So I always say, before opening the books, let's open our hearts. We need to make connections. And so during this webinar, I'm going to be telling you about this social relationship between your students and how to manage emotions. Okay? So first thing, how are you, teachers? Please write on the chat, how are you? I'm going to be reading here. How are you? Great, fine, amazing, wonderful, perfect, fine. Tired, worried, great, perfect, fantastic, sad. Okay, well, I hope that you enjoy this webinar and feel better. Great, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing how are you today? So this is one of the most common questions that we ask our students when we start our class, right? How are you? And we almost always expect this answer. Fine, thank you. And you, right? Don't we teach this answer to our students? But what does fine really mean? Why do we teach our students to say they are fine when maybe sometimes they are not? So what if we could ask differently? We could start teaching our students how they feel from the beginning. Tell them that it's okay to express what they feel and to validate their emotions. Teach them what to do with what they feel so they could feel better. So instead of asking, how are you? We could ask, how do you feel today? Yes? So if we started doing that, this would make your students feel valued. You're seeing me. You see how I'm feeling. Thank you. Accepted, respected, seen, and most importantly, loved. This is very important. Love is a key, teachers, for a successful teaching and learning. Yes? And so when you do this, you will be creating safe bonds with your students. That's the most important thing. If you create safe bonds, that's why I was telling you about the social relationship between teachers and students. Your students are going to feel happy and motivated to learn English with you because they love you and because they feel that you also love them. Okay? So creating bonds is super important. I also want to tell you that magic in the classroom happens when we create safe bonds, okay? Because we learn best from the people we love. This is very important. That's why I'm repeating it. If students trust their teachers, they will be open to learn what their teachers teach them, okay? Otherwise, they are not going to be motivated. They're going to be rejecting what the teacher is trying to teach them. And so all of this that I'm telling you is based on science, on neuroscience. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So our brain is a social organ. So since we are born, we need others to survive, right? We are babies, so we need someone to take care of us, to feed us, to do everything that we need to survive, right? But from others, we also learn to survive because we need to learn all the rules and Also, we need to learn the language and the culture. That is important to learn everything because that is going to make us belong to a group, okay? That's why we create bonds, to belong. If we belong, that means we will survive. And that is the most important thing that the brain wants. It wants you to survive, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about attachment theory and how these bonds work, okay? So if the person who is taking care of you makes you feel safe, because that person fulfills all your needs, yes? And also makes you feel safe because that person has established limits, and you know how to navigate your life, what to do, what you cannot do, so you feel safe, right? Then you're going to thrive in life. You are going to feel motivated, positive, and you're going to want to go and play and explore everything. But what happens when the person that is taking care of you doesn't make you feel safe? Because sometimes they fulfill your needs, sometimes they don't, or sometimes nobody does anything, so I learn to do everything by myself, so I don't trust people. Then there is a warning there, okay? If I don't feel safe, there is a warning. Oh, something is happening. Why don't they see us? Why don't they accept us? I'm not feeling safe. And so remember, the brain wants to keep you alive. So the brain feels super stressed, and it activates the flight, the fight, or the freeze response. In the classroom, you can see that when a child is stressed is because maybe the child is misbehaving. It's here. Or the child is, teacher, may I go to the bathroom because something that you're teaching is too overwhelming for him. Or I freeze, and then you ask them a question and then they are like, I don't know what to say, so they don't answer. Okay. And so when the brain feels stress, it's going to respond automatically, quickly, impulsively, because it's trying to keep us alive, making us feel big feelings or hard feelings to feel. Yeah. This webinar is about how learning is affected by emotions, but emotions that are hard to feel. Okay, so I'm going to focus on. So the brain, because like the brain is our hero, he wants to keep us alive, is going to act that way automatically to protect you. Okay, and the way we respond automatically is called emotion. Okay, obviously, as I was telling you, we have positive or easy feelings to feel, or negative or hard feelings to feel. This is directed to the hard feelings to feel, okay? So emotions, positive or negative, are unconscious and automatic reactions that we have toward a specific situation or experience we're living internally. Maybe I'm thinking about something and that is not leaving me alone, and that is making me feel hard feelings. Or maybe I'm feeling sick, and that is also making me feel hard feelings. Or externally, something happened in the environment or with a person, and I have emotions towards that is happening. And it is very personal. Why? Because in the same situation, let's say in the English class, the students can have different emotions. We can have one student that is super excited because he is going to learn new vocabulary words and he's going to learn English that day and super excited. And we can have the child who is scared because, oh my God, I don't understand anything. So she's talking and what am I doing here? I want to go home. Okay. same situation, English class, two different reactions, two different emotions, okay? So emotions have two phases. The physical manifestation of the emotion where we can see it, the tears, the knot in the throat, tension in our muscles, and the memories that are attached to that emotion, okay? So emotions show up in our body in different places. And depending on the way they make us feel and where we feel that emotion, we label it to recognize it, okay? That is super important. So we get the feelings, okay? So if you say, oh, where are you feeling the emotion here? Oh, I'm happy. Or where are you feeling that emotion here? No, in my, oh, I cannot talk. Maybe you're sad or you're frustrated. Yeah. So depending on the place in your body where you're feeling what you're feeling is the way that you're going to be recognizing that emotion. So feelings are the names we give to our emotions to recognize them. Okay. So as adults, as we grow old, we become more reflective and it's easier to recognize how we feel, no? But for young students, it's hard because they are still developing their thinking and their emotional skills, and their brain too. The brain is going to finish developing in terms of emotional, social, and emotional skills until they're like 24 years old. So imagine if we want our young students to know how to do this by themselves, we need to teach them. That's why these are skills that we need to develop, okay? So sometimes children go to school and they feel this way. They feel sad because their mom dropped them off at school and they don't want to be there. They miss their mom. Or they feel scared. Oh my God, what am I doing here? This school is so big. And apart from that, that person is speaking in a different language that I don't know. I don't understand. What am I doing here? So they feel scared. Or they feel angry because they just got a toy and someone got that toy out of their hands. And so you are angry because you know that toy was the only familiar thing that I had at school. And I don't want you to take it away because I felt safe with that toy. Or I feel frustrated because I see that everybody can and I can't. Why can't I? And if I can't, am I going to lose your love? Please. So children are experiencing different emotions while they are at school and learning. And they don't know what's going on. They don't understand what is going on, but they can feel what's going on. And they need to express how they feel so they start feeling better. Okay? And so look at this beautiful quote. Just like children, emotions heal when they are heard and validated. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to teach them to express their emotions so they start feeling better, so they feel heard and validated. Okay? It's okay to feel. It's okay. So how can we help our students express their feelings? Step 1, label the emotion. Label the emotion means to learn the names of the feelings. How can I know what I feel if I don't know the name? So we have to learn the names, okay? So we can recognize how we feel and what we feel, all right? So to help your students label their emotions, I have a lot of activities to share with you. 1, show flashcards or posters with the pictures of the feelings. This is something that you commonly do, right? You place the poster, you point to the feelings, or you show flashcards and you start. Like, imagine these are my flashcards. Happy, everybody say happy, repeat, happy, happy face, yeah? And then you start teaching your feelings, okay? After teaching the feelings, I suggest you include a song. Why? Because remember that the brain learns better when there is music attached to language, okay? So any song that you like. I wrote this one here. Oh, sorry. And this goes like this. I feel happy. I feel scared. I feel angry. I feel sad. And you can even mind the emotions. I feel happy. I feel scared. I feel angry. I feel sad. That's the way I can feel. And it's okay to say how I feel so I can heal. Okay? So you sing it and you sing it every day. And then your students are going to remember the words. All right? After they know the words and you do this every day, this is going to take you like 1 minute in your class. You can get a ball and then you toss a ball and you ask the child who gets the ball, how do you feel? Okay, that is one activity. Another one, you play some music and you play hot potato and the ball passes around, yeah? And then you stop the music and the child with the ball is going to answer. You ask, how do you feel? The child answers, all right? Another activity, you sit in a circle and then you put a toy in the middle, okay? And the children that want to share how they feel, take the toy and it's their turn to speak, okay? And then they speak and then they put the toy back. You can also give a set of cards to students, okay, with different feelings. And then you ask them, how do you feel today? And then the students are going to look for the card that shows how they feel. And then they are going to show you. They don't have to speak. Sometimes they don't want to speak. They don't feel comfortable. They don't want anybody to know. They just show you, okay? You can also do some TPR. For example, if you feel happy, if you feel sad, hug a friend and then somebody is going to hug somebody, okay? If you feel angry, stomp your feet. Okay, you can also do that if you see that they don't want to share or talk, okay? And you can also use a puppet to ask how they feel. A puppet that you can have or do with a sock. Like, for example, I have this one. Look at this cute thing, okay? And so sometimes children prefer to talk to the puppet than to the adult because sometimes they don't trust you yet, so they don't feel comfortable sharing and talking to an adult, but they will talk to the puppet, okay? So if the puppet comes and says, hey, how are you doing? How do you feel? They are going to tell the puppet, okay? Or you can create these little eyes and you can do the same. Hello, children. How do you feel today? And they are going to answer, okay? And they are going to even hold your hand because this is a special character in the classroom, right? They are not talking directly to you. They are talking to him, okay? So this is important for little kids especially, all right? You can also play charades. Or Simon Says, okay, everybody, Simon says, happy, and everybody is happy. Simon says sad. We are training our brain with all of these activities, okay? So when they feel an emotion, they know how they feel. Remind students that there are no good or bad feelings. Some feelings are easy to feel and some are harder to feel and tolerate, okay? And do not force any student to share. They will do it when they feel safe, okay? That is important. Step 2, tolerate the emotion. Say where in the bodies they feel that feeling. So you name it. I feel angry. Where do you feel angry? I feel here. It's important to make a connection with my body. Because remember, we go from the concrete to the abstract. First, I need to connect with my body so then I can process the emotion. So I need to calm my body first, so then I'm able to calm my mind. All right? So what can you do? After saying how they feel, ask them to point to the place where they feel that feeling in their own bodies. How do you feel? I feel happy. Where? Here. Perfect. You can also display a poster with a body silhouette and have students point to the place where they feel that feeling. Or you can give them the body silhouette and ask them to color the place in the body where they feel that feeling and choose the color. How do you see that emotion in your body? What color is it? And let them choose. Let them choose the color they want, and then they are going to color. Okay? Like this one. This is like the kind of poster you can have or a body silhouette, all right? For them to color. Step 3, recuperate from the emotion. So I label it, I said where I'm feeling it, I made contact with my body, now I'm able to process it, and now I can recuperate from the emotion, right? So now we're going to learn what to do with what we feel, okay? So I'm feeling super angry, right? So breathe in and out. Take that emotion out of your body. We don't want it inside because it hurts, okay? Breathe in, stretch your arms. I tried to reach the ceiling. Oh. Release stress with your kids. You can also ask students to close their eyes, put their hands in their heart, and feel it for 1 minute. Or listen to the beats for 1 minute, okay? You can also give them clay, and apart from developing fine motor skills, you're going to tell them, okay, choose the clay that you want, the color that you want, and model the emotion that you're feeling. Take it out of your body. You can also have, if possible, a place in the classroom that is going to be a peace corner so students can calm down, okay? And there, they are going to learn to manage their conflict or to say, I am sorry in that place, in that place. You say sorry or you listen to a friend. What happened? And then they manage their conflict there. You can also have a big feelings corner in a space where they are feeling super frustrated, super angry, or super sad, and they need to calm down. So they can go to the feelings corner, where maybe you can put some lavender oil in a diffuser. You can have a punching bag if they need, some cushions, some books about emotions, some balls that they can press, like get out the stress, okay? Calm down and breathe. And then you can approach and offer help. And I love this one. This one, I just do it with my children. It's lovely. It's a cereal box. And then you draw the face of a monster. And then you're going to cut the mouth, okay? This part, you're going to cut it. And then you name the monster. Name that you want to keep the monster, and you're going to tell your students, okay, so how do you feel today? Draw how you feel, and then they are going to draw how they feel, okay? And so you say, where do you feel that feeling? Here. Okay, so close your eyes and imagine that you're pulling that feeling out because you don't want it, and then you're going to feed that feeling to the monster. The monster is going to munch. It's going to disappear, okay? So you feed that feelings to the monster so they go away, okay? I wrote this for you because I know that you're going to get this presentation. All right, and then once they calm down, you can help them find solutions to the problem and to help them, okay? You offer help once they calm down. You cannot offer help before because they are overwhelmed with the feeling, and you have to let them to release that emotion, okay? Something important, if you see a child struggling with a big feeling, take the time to speak on one-on-one to them while the other ones are quietly working or working individually. If you see, when you ask them, how do you feel that they are feeling sad, and you see that they have teary eyes, or they are crying, or they are super down, act immediately. Something is happening. That child is not going to learn in the class. He's not going to learn anything. You have to be there for them, and for them to see that they have you. So then they are, oh, okay, I feel safe here. Okay. And then he's going to learn. Otherwise, he's going to be sitting there and he's not going to learn anything. All right. And you may need to use language one so they can express how they feel. Okay. Because if they trust you, but they don't have the words in English to tell you, they might feel scared to ask for help. So let them use language one. And if a child is overwhelmed with a big feeling and comes to you crying or shouting or talking too fast, model them how to calm down. Okay, honey, okay, yes, you're feeling angry. Touch your heart, touch your heart. Can you feel how fast it is beating? Yes? Okay, let's breathe in and out. Okay, tell me, how is your heart? Is it beating slowly now? Yes? Okay, now tell me. Yes, I understand. You feel angry. Now tell me what is going on. First, you need to model them how to calm down, okay? Remember, children see children do. We are role models, role models. If the adult knows how to self-regulate, the children will also learn how to self-regulate. If the adult doesn't know how to self-regulate, children will not know either. They will not. So we need to show them how. This is a skill and we need to model it, okay? The good thing, teachers, is that by doing this with your students, you are doing it for you too. So you're also benefiting for this as well, right? So the more you practice these skills with your students, the best your brain and the brain of your students is going to respond when it feels a big feeling or a hard feeling to feel. It will know what to do because it practiced a lot. Okay? And since we are role models, this is special for you. All right? So sometimes, dear teachers, we feel super down, right? We have no energy at all. And there are a lot of things that are draining our energy. We have to do a lot of paperwork. We have to do the lesson plans. Oh, that is so overwhelming. And I also have to write, and sometimes I have to write and I don't have to have lunch. My students are misbehaving and I'm losing group control. What am I going to do? They are not paying attention. Oh my God. And so you start feeling super overwhelmed, right? And so if our internal battery is low, because we didn't sleep well, because we feel sick, because we feel stressed, because we're overwhelmed with everything that is going on, how can we think clearly? And most importantly, how can I respond properly and help a child to calm down if I am not okay? I have no more energy to give. And I have so I can help my children and I can be a good role model. I have to fill up my tank. Yes. The more energy we have, the better we can regulate our emotions. Because if you don't have energy, maybe if your students are misbehaving, then you're going to shout. And then you're going to say, okay. And then everybody is going to be scared. And you know that if they feel scared, they feel a threat, they feel stressed, and they're not going to learn. Okay? So we don't want to get to that point. So How often do you pamper yourself, teachers? How often do you take care of yourself? We need to do that. We need to do that. We need to have our time to recharge, all right? So I'm going to share something that you can do that I also do. Okay, think of all the tiny things that happen in your day that make you happy and that can help you recharge your energy. Because sometimes we're so overwhelmed with all of the negative things that are going around that we miss those tiny things that make us happy. So we are focused on the negative and we have to turn to see the positive in our life. Yes? That is going to help you recharge. Tiny things. Like today, oh, I got my favorite beverage and I loved it. Thank you. I had a chat with a very good friend and I liked it. Thank you. Someone told me a joke or I watched a video and I laughed so hard. I felt so happy. Thank you. I look at the mirror. I am dressing in my favorite clothes. Thank you. I'm feeling perfect. And then you tell yourself in the mirror, I love you. You can do it. Yes? Those are the tiny things that you can do to recharge. And you have to write all those things in this chart for 7 days, for a week. What situation made me feel recharged? I got my cup of coffee. What feelings did that situation make me feel? Oh, comfort, happiness. I felt I really like to drink my coffee in the morning. How did that situation change my day for the better? Well, I started seeing all the blessings that I have, even though they're tiny. And so I can cope with all of the things that are going to happen in the day. Yes? Do it for a week, and then you will tell me next webinar how it went. All right? Another thing, connect with your heart. Listen to it if possible, using a stethoscope. You don't know, this is magic. I use it. I have my own stethoscope. And then for 5 minutes, 3 times a day, I connect and I breathe and I listen to my heart. This is like a small meditation that you do. You are working, take your time, listen to it. If you don't have it, do the same thing that I'm telling you with your students, but do it. It is 5 minutes. If you don't have 5, 1, but take your time to breathe and listen to your heart. Listen to the beats, to the rhythm. For 1 minute, try to not think about anything, and it's going to help you recharge. It's going to help you connect, and then think about what you have to do next when you feel very overwhelmed, all right? Another thing that you can do is to dance, shake and sweat all those emotions that feel heavy in your heart. You don't want them. You can do it easily with your students in the class by making a transitional activity, and maybe you can do some brain gym, all right? Or you can do it at home. Feel grateful for what you have. Focus on the positive. And I also do this activity. Choose a stone, any you like, any you find. Put it next to your side table. And before you go to sleep, take your stone and think of the best thing that happened to you today. So you're going to start thinking about all of the good things that happened to you today. And then you're going to feel blessed because, yes, there were so many things, good things that happened to you today. There were hard things, yeah, but I also had so many that happened to me today. So thank you. This is going to make you feel recharged because you're going to be focusing on the positive and not in the negative, all right? And don't forget to smile. Sometimes we're like, oh, grumpy all day long. Don't forget to smile. Smile. And don't forget that the best of life is in your hands. I know that you're amazing teachers, that you care, and that's why you're here. Thank you so much for joining me today, for being here, for registering, for taking the time to come and to be here with me. I hope that I was able to inspire you so that you can make magic in your class and that you can continue being as successful as I know that you are in your teaching journey. Thank you, teachers. Thank you for being here, and goodbye.
Thank you, Lorena, so much. That was a wonderful talk.
Thank you, Will.
Just got to wait for them. I'm just going to let those chat messages settle in for a minute. People have got some stuff to say. Just wonderful. Just, I mean, you can just tell how much you love this and how much it means to you as something that teachers should do and should be equipped to do well.
Yes, absolutely. I always think that maybe it's cheesy, but love is the answer to a successful class and successful teaching. You have to first love your students. Love your students. Absolutely. Yeah, create bonds. That's where magic starts.
In not just teaching as well. I'm going to take that cheesiness a stage further. Not just only teaching now. I think as parents as well, and as family members, just exactly. Love kind of the rest kind of flows a bit easier then, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Yeah, because you never stop loving. Maybe you don't like what they are doing, and then you have to tell them this is not okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop loving you. I just don't like that, what you're doing, and we have to fix that. And that's why we have set our rules and our limits and everything, you know? I think that's what's important, that they know. I mean, talking to children, no, I always love you, but what you did was not okay. Okay? Yeah. So we need to do it differently.
Thanks, Lorena. We've got loads of questions. A couple of people asked about age groups. So this talk was aimed at young learners, obviously. But what do you say about teenagers? Do you feel equipped to respond about teenagers?
Yes, because we are human beings, teachers. This applies to all human beings. Believe me, teenagers also need a lot of love because they are lost. They are rewiring their brains and they need to look up to good role models. So we need to be there for them as well. And sometimes they are feeling super hard feelings. They are very social aware and they feel rejected. They feel lonely. And so, yeah, they also need to find a way to express how they feel. Maybe not with a puppet, obviously, but for them, I would say we could do something different, no? As I was telling you with the activities that I was sharing for the teachers, no? Maybe they're going to have a journal where they're going to write how they feel. Maybe you're going to form groups in which you will trust, you know? I don't know if you know about the magic circle. The magic circle.
Maybe.
I used to do it a long time ago with my students. They were not young learners. And so we set the rules. Everything that we say here is going to stay here. Nobody's able to talk about it because we're going to be sharing, we're going to be feeling vulnerable, okay? So we're just going to be there for you, right? And so we used to I used to let my students talk and share how they were feeling or the things that were going on with them, maybe at home, and that they would listen without judging. It's difficult. But when you are able to share and to know that nobody's going to judge you and that everybody's going to respect how you feel, then you can start being you. You feel, oh, here I can be me. I don't have to put any mask on me. I don't have to pretend. I can be me, no? And then you can start sharing, and it feels good to share, to take out all these emotions, as I was telling you. As children, as adults, as teenagers, we all need to share how we feel, to heal. That doesn't apply just to young children, because we're all human beings. We all work the same way. We all need to share how we feel. And I think that before or in the past, we were not allowed to share how we feel, no, or how we felt. We were taught, at least in certain cultures, to hide our feelings, because it was not okay to share how we feel, right, in front of others. Don't cry, no, don't stop, or whatever. And now I think that that mental health is something that we're all talking about, and we are more open to start sharing and saying how we're feeling. And I think that we need that. We need that, and we need to reconnect as humans as well. That's what I think.
Can I ask, Lorena, just as a follow-up to that? I think there are, I mean, obviously in this room, we've got a wide array of different teachers and people with different attitudes towards their role and their job and who they are in that room. And can I just ask what you would say to the teachers who would like to keep a bit of a break between them and the students, and they don't want to get overly personal with them because it's their job and they're a professional? Doesn't make them any less good as a teacher, but they don't want to have such a personal connection.
It's okay, as long as you respect, value, see, and accept your students and help them to thrive. It's okay if you don't want to go further with them. As long as you make them feel safe in the class, where you're going to set your limits. But I mean, you can set your limits, but you can still be a loving teacher. You see? Set your limits, because that makes you feel safe, and you are going to be there. But if they make a mistake, then you help them. You don't punish them. Oh, that was wrong, and you cannot do that. No, you're not going to say that. Okay, so you can still be a very professional person, a very professional teacher, but you can also know how to approach your students and how to make them feel good. Like, hey, you made a mistake. Let's find. Can you see where you found a mistake? Where is the mistake? Look at my answer. Look at yours. Compare. Can you see where is the mistake? Here. Perfect. Do you know how to solve it? Yes or no? I can help you. And then you offer help. So then that person is going to feel, oh, this teacher, thank you for telling me and for not punishing me because I didn't know, or because, you see. So yeah, I mean, this doesn't have to, I'm not telling you that you're going to be hugging all the little kids. What I tell you is to love them and to know that we are human beings, that we are teaching a language, but we're also teaching human beings. And as long as you feel safe in the class, and we model the emotions, we are under control of our emotions, we're modeling them to them, and we can approach to our students who are feeling sad. Maybe you don't want, if you see someone feeling super sad, you don't want to ask them, but you can tell them, are you feeling okay? Do you need some help? Maybe you can go, and then you can send them to someone in the school who can talk to them, or the psychologist or the counselor or someone at school that can help that child. Or after finishing the class, you can talk to your coordinator or to the principal, and then you can tell them, you know something, I always see that this child is absent, or this child is not paying attention, or something like that. So we need to help that child. But yeah, you can also do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lorena.
You're welcome.
Absolutely wonderful. It's just such an inspiration to see you on these talks. You're just so passionate about it and so knowledgeable. And you're really good at sharing that as well. I don't want to go on about it, but you're just really good at putting it all together into a way that makes it digestible for teachers who are not in your position, where you've clearly studied really hard about this and spent your life on it. So thank you so much, Lorena.
Thank you, Will, and thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Great, thanks a lot, Lorena.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to move on now. Where's the share screen thingy? Where is it? There it is. I found it. Don't panic. Don't panic, everyone. I've got it. All right. So, I'm just going to check. See that? Can't see it. Those things in the way. Get rid of that. Okay. So, Lorena Peimbert has actually, she's one of our authors, one of our treasured authors. And she has written a component for this course that you can see in front of you, Learning Well. I'll tell you more about her component. It's a 6th level American English course. It's got emotional intelligence at its core. It's got sections in there called Big Feelings, and what those sections do is show students and teachers how feelings shouldn't hinder learning, and there are practical tips and activities on how students can manage those emotions. Learning Well also improves well-being by enabling students to understand, manage, and discuss the emotions in English. So what Lorena was talking about today, but more important, not more important, but just as importantly, doing the same thing in English as well. The component that Lorena has written is actually called the Wellness Book. The Wellness Book sits alongside Learning Well. So Learning Well is an English language course, 6 levels, American English. It's an English language course. Lorena, along with Lena Costa-Sandel, has written the Wellness Book, which sits alongside Learning Well. So it goes through the units at the same pace as the course itself, and focuses on students' self-awareness with a whole range of engaging activities and a sort of a magazine-like design. So for more information on fostering emotional intelligence, English language skills, and the unique Wellness Book experience, there should be a link in the chat box or in the resource. There should be a thing just popped up on the screen, or the QR code on the screen. Visit the Learning Well course website, and you can find out more. Learning Well has also got a British English counterpart, which is also, it's a 6th level British English course, which also has wellbeing at its core. There are some differences between those two courses. Firstly, one of them is American English, the other one is British English. Learning Hands has a bit more of an emphasis on real communication and multi-literacies, and enabling students to become a bit more akin to how the world works today in terms of communication, passive and active communication. The wellbeing in the course also creates an inclusive classroom where everyone is valued. Learning Lands, it aims to increase the confidence of the learner. Again, it's an English language course, British English, 6 levels, which aims to enhance the learner's confidence and competence in English by integrating a thorough grammar and vocabulary practice in meaningful real-world contexts. So please do explore that course if it sounds like it's something you're interested in. It's a course that empowers emotional expression, just like Learning Well, but it's this British English